So this is the fall safety arrestor inertia reel that I bought on eBay. Now, this goes by several different brands, several different sources, but the appearance of the case is always the same. So there's just one manufacturer of this product. This works very much like your car seat belt in your car. It's a little embarrassing to tell you that I need something like this, but I'm 80 years old. And if you live alone, you might consider doing this. I have to use these stairs several times a day. If I don't use the stairs, I have to go outside in the weather and all the way around the house to the basement door. This is some information about that safety reel. For the money, this is the best solution for me. I think this was around 40 bucks. Now, there are much better harnesses and much better reels, and some are very expensive. This reel is mounted high on the wall so as to have the correct angle for me going down the stairs. It is mounted and hung from a 3/8 high bolt. As this came from the factory, it engaged quickly, but not near quickly enough to catch me if I started to fall. I needed it to lock quickly as I slowly walked down the stairs. If I increase my speed at all, it needs to lock, and now it does after the modifications. Now that I have this reel on my workbench at the shop, I want to pull on that cable to be familiar with how the speed is before it locks, so I can get some idea of how it's going to be after it's modified. First you remove the rope attachment bolt at the top of the case. Then you remove the screws and nuts around the outside of the case. The large bolt and nut at the top of the case is 19 millimeter. And these are my basement stairs that I use several times a day, sometimes carrying heavy loads like groceries. So I have to be safe. The inertia reel catch and shaft are at the bottom of the case. Very simple. So here is the simple part of this. It's simple, but you have to be very precise. And luckily I got it right after a couple of tries. The spring I added to the original spring was just temporary, just to make it looser and to try to see if that would make it lock quicker. That spring made it way too loose. There is an attachment screw to the right of this spring that you can remove. The spring spirals onto the hole you see at the left at the yellow arrow after removing the screw. The spring has to be spiraled onto that attachment hole enough that it won't come loose. I have hundreds of springs that I've collected, but I had none small enough to fix this. So what I did, and I'll admit it was luck, just an educated guess, I screwed the spring onto the attachment hole one full turn to hold it securely. Then I stretched it. If you stretch a spring far enough, it will stretch. And I did that, and luckily I got it right the first time. Now that reel works exactly like I want it to work. I also put some white lubriplate grease, just a little amount, around the edges of the reel where it locks. Then back together again. When I removed the reel, I had to count the turns of the cable so I could put it back with the right amount of tension on it. And 3 full turns will give you enough tension. The main shaft of that reel has a hex end of it that fits into the case. You'll see that when you take it apart. Very simple design, but pay attention to the parts as you take it apart. There's a couple of small bushings on the main shaft. Pay attention to that. If you have any mechanical ability at all, you should be able to do this. This is the reel in action before modifications. This locks very quickly. But if you ease it out like your seat belt, you see how that goes. Pull quick, it locks. And that's what you need to be safe. But this didn't lock quickly enough. So, to show you how this works, now that this reel has been modified to where it engages quickly, I'll put this seat belt on that I have attached to it and walk down the stairs and show you how it works. Note, the belt should be chest high. Now, it engaged. All I have to do is take a little pressure off of it and continue. Then I can turn and unhook this belt easily. Hook it to a hook I have down here. So then when I'm ready to come back up the stairs, I can just turn and put this on. Turn and unhook and go up the stairs. It's best to have this about chest high like this in case you fail. This photo shows the safety hook that is attached to the steel cable. Two levers have to be compressed at once to unlock this, so it's a very safe attachment. This is a VW seat belt that I have modified and shortened, and you can see the attachment bolt, and there's enough space between the two parts of the seat belt for the hook on the cable to hook. The bottom stitches on this seat belt that I shortened are stitched together with nylon thread and an awl. A sewing awl like this is available from Amazon. It comes with the nylon thread and several extra needles and complete instructions, and it's easy to use. I hope this video helped you. Stay safe.